Marijuana MSO MariMed loses $646,000 in a sophisticated email fraud, you guys. That's right. Multi-state marijuana operator MariMed mistakenly transferred hundreds of thousands of dollars to a fraudulent recipient after receiving a forged email, according to the company's latest quarterly filing with U.S. securities regulators. The fraud revelation comes shortly after the Massachusetts-based MSO chief financial officer resigned without explanation, although it is unclear whether the two events are linked. MariMed, which operates in 5 states, confirmed with MJ Biz Daily that it lost some totaled $646,000 in a quote. "We have nothing further to share on that. Our expectation is that we will recover lost funds either from the bank or through our cybersecurity insurance policy," MariMed Chief Communications Officer Howard Stader said in an emailed statement to MJ Biz Daily. In a quote, "This was a very sophisticated global fraud that we believe took months of planning, and we have been working with the FBI and local police during their investigations," he continued. He also says, "This should serve as a cautionary tale to any company, including those like MariMed, that operate at the highest standard of financial discipline and governance." The transfer was related to a term loan payment, according to MariMed's 10Qs form for the quarter ending in September 30th. The money was sent to a Chase bank account provided in a forged email was received. Where they received the filing noted, it appears that MariMed scrambled to stop the transfer. And at first, Chase Bank told MariMed that the cannabis MSO had identified the problem before the payment was delivered, and the transfer was on hold as the bank investigated. That investigation is still ongoing, and the bank has since indicated that the funds were delivered to the fraudulent recipient's account, MariMed wrote in its quarterly filing. In another quote, "We are awaiting a receipt of a formal response from the bank with the results of its investigation and continue to pursue all channels through our bank to recover these funds." MariMed has also filed the claim under its corporate cybersecurity insurance. The company, which accounted for the $646,000 sum loss as an expense in its financials, said it will reverse the expense if the money is recovered from the bank or from the insurance claim. In an additional quote, "We have implemented additional safeguards to protect ourselves from future fraudulent activity," MariMed's filing said. And former MariMed CFO Susan Villari resigned effectively October 31st, not long before the company reported third-quarter earnings. MariMed's November 3rd news release announcing Villari's resignation offered no details or commentary regarding her departure. The company declined to answer on MJ Biz Daily's question regarding whether Villari's resignation was related to the email fraud incident, and MJ Biz Daily reached out to Villari for comment and is still awaiting a response. Joseph Steinberg is a New York-based cybersecurity expert and author who reviewed MariMed's filing, and in a quote, he says, "There are not simplistic attacks where some random criminal sent out 10 million phishing emails," Steinberg said. "In most cases, these things are going to involve reconnaissance, planning, strategic targeting, using information, perhaps multiple steps by the fraudster, perhaps multiple emails, maybe even phone calls by the fraudster." Steinberg noted that he couldn't comment on MariMed's specific case without knowing more details. However, he painted a picture of corporate cybercrime that's much more complex than simple phishing scams. In a quote, "People have the tendency to sometimes to say, 'Oh, someone got phished,' and over-amplify it as if this were all on an error by one party. It's often not the case," he said. "Sometimes there are cases where banks have processed transactions that they shouldn't have processed. There were glaring red flags," and he also says, "Sometimes there are situations where this information came from legitimate parties," Steinberg continued, "and there are cases where stuff is even confirmed over the phone and there's fraud involved in the phone calls. Fraudsters can breach a company's cybersecurity indirectly by targeting third parties," Steinberg warned. "Criminals know how to exploit the weakest link in the chain," he said. "And if you're a sizable business and you're doing a lot of business and you've got real money that can be stolen, criminals may try to get into into you by leveraging mistakes or security weaknesses at a third party with whom you're doing business. So you have to protect yourself also against those types of risks, they say. Well. MariMed out over $500,000. What do you guys have to say about this? This is Jason Beck for the High at 9 News Hour. What do y'all think?
Scams are running rampant, and cannabis businesses are not, immune to it. Last year, multiple friends of mine were getting emails sent to their entire staff within the company, and they appeared to be coming from the CEO, asking the employees to go out and buy gift cards to re-gift to other staff members, but to give them to him first.
I mean,
How about that?
I mean, how would they give them
That's
to
the
him?
lack of internal controls.
How would they give
Yeah,
them to
I was
him?
just gonna say that. I was gonna say the same thing. Is like I feel like if you get scammed, I mean, and listen, my heart goes out to the people that do get scammed. Listen, it sucks. I understand, but listen, if you get scammed for something like this at a company and you're supposed to be at that level to be able to control that level of finances, you're fired.
Yeah, and what about all the little old ladies that get their money taken from them and no one does anything about it? Like, this is a corporation.
What if this lady was the CFO and she was the one that orchestrated all this and she was the one that ran off with the bag?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, that definitely sounds like a movie.
Plausible.
Yep.
I think the insurance company has something to say about this too, because most of them have provisions that you have to have certain levels of security and standard operating procedures to evaluate threats and things like that. And if you're a big enough company, you can have somebody whose job it is to be watching your systems for this type of attack. And the insurance company may or may not pay out. We'll just have to see.
Yeah,
Chase got caught. They notified him, hey, this looks like a scam, and they still paid him. So I think,
well, hold on, Dale. I don't think Chase does have their ass out there because they. Like, why would they, if they paid a scam and then all of a sudden after they paid it, then they think it's a scam? Like, I feel like you would know it's a scam before you paid it.
Well, and I'm confused about
Monday morning quarterback.
Sometimes,
and
right?
if you send Chase a notice that I think this is a fraudulent transfer, and they say, oh, we're going to look at it before we transfer it, and they transfer it anyway, I think that may subject them to some liability here too.
That may, but I think that's all going to depend.
The sequence of events.
That's all going to depend in the timestamps, and to my knowledge, sometimes when you send something, it's out of the bank's control to be able to stop it. So the bank may not have had the ability to actually stop the transaction, even though the email said that they may.
Oh no, they did on this one. On this one, they did. On a transaction of that level, the bank always had there's always going to be steps along the way to where the bank could have ceased the transaction. But I'm with Dale too on this. I think not only in that company, but there was multiple steps along the way where somebody botched something or didn't follow some type of policy, because there are procedures in most companies, especially ones that large, for these types of transactions, and there's processes, and it doesn't look like they were followed in a certain way. And hey, look, like I said, if you did this and if I did this and I worked for a company, I would expect not to have a job too. You effed up big time. So hey, it's part of the game.
It's part of the game.
Finances in any business is the biggest responsibility of the business. It's the most critical, the most important. You have to have your smartest, most capable, most trustworthy person in that role.
I can just imagine the conversations at the company holiday party in regards to this. Yeah, it's got to be. I'd love to be a fly on the wall. Yeah.
Holiday party. That thing's super off, bro. That's Christmas is canceled, kids.
Yes. Oh man. These guys.
And give the email address and residence address of the person who put this up, and go talk to them.
Yeah, man.
I'm willing to bet.
Anybody can send them an email about their new company party that they have to give us $25 for.
I'm willing to bet that that money is either in Nigeria or India or somewhere. It's already left the U.S.
Just like Jason to try to point out one of the third world countries as being the culprit.
Right, those are shithole countries, Jason.
I watch a lot of. I watch a lot of. I don't know if you guys ever watch it, but do you watch the scammer channels? Where they have the internet hackers.
What the fuck is the scammer channel?
Yeah, I don't even know what that is.
For everybody out there that does not know, Jason actually is a boomer.
No, I
When
like
were you
to
born,
watch. I like
Jason?
to watch the scammer. I like to watch the scammer channels because
He still has a
they be
cordless
calling
house
these guys out. They be calling these guys out. No, I actually have no home phone. No home phone.
He has
That's
a
cute.
rotary phone.
That's cute. I have a few mobile phones. I am considering getting an additional one, but nonetheless.
You got the old flip still? I know you got a flip somewhere in the house.
Someone
You
did.
get the chip flip? Get the chip flip?
I probably have someone in some box somewhere. I'm pretty sure I probably still have one of those sitting around somewhere.
Or the one I'll chirp at you, bruh.
I have all my
The old Nextel chips.
I have all my old electronic devices because the reality is that those people that try to recycle the devices, they don't pay you enough to give them to you, so I just keep mine.
So you just
Come on,
keep them and have free storage space with a bunch of junk.
Yep.
Got it.
I have a whole bunch of
listen,
Years,
like
they'll be antiques. They'll be auctioning them off.
exactly.
I'll tell you what, in Atwater, United States Penitentiary, they like do all the recycling. Just we're gonna go over there, we're gonna drop off all your stuff. It's gonna be turned into new stuff, and somebody else can use it, bro.
They gotta
just
cash
give
me
it
out.
away, dog. Just give it away.
I'm
It's
good.
okay.
I'm
So
good.
green of them.
I'm
So
good.
green.
Jay's got like that first cell phone with the battery pack that
Yes.
mounted to the base of your car.
Yes.
It got his name like scratched in it with a nail.
I'm pretty sure I even have a.
Hey, Jason,
have
does
a flip phone.
your Beamer have a car phone in it?
You're funny. Yeah, that's funny.
Do you have a car phone?
That's funny. I do have a car phone.
Oh, I bet
I
Jason
do.
still has his pager.
I do have a car phone, and I do still have pagers.
See through.
Yes,
And a
100%.
fax machine, right?
And a time port.
Oh,
Don't forget
yeah,
that
fax
too. Time
machine
port.
too.
Time ports were the business.